so much stuff floating around. I don't know. People trying to say they wasn't together.
Basically was trying to get into a threesome. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to another experience known as Kay and Manny. I am the one they call Manny. She is the lady of all K's. Hope y'all doing good this Saturday morning. I don't know if y'all cleaning or working or just laying in bed still, but if you're laying in bed still, you need to get up. But while you're getting up, we're going to talk about the double standard known as protecting Black women. A double standard that nobody really talks about, but we're going to talk about it. But since I'm not a woman, I'm going to let a woman take over this one.
Absolutely, Manny. I want to say welcome, everyone, and good morning. And let me tell you something. If you are laying in bed, you can stay in bed, but we need your undivided attention because, as Manny said, I have something very crucial that I want to talk about, which is a topic that a lot of people underline. And, you know, a lot of women out there, we do not feel protected by some of our Black men. But then my question to you, Manny, is do you think this mentality is due to the stigma of how someone was raised?
I think it's that, but I also think it's how they feel as well. Like if they feel entitled or they feel like, you know, because a lot of people get this misconstrued idea of, you know, women supposed to be led by men and they supposed to do what we say because we're the focal point of the house or whatever. But again, kind of like what you said, it's a double standard and we need to address it. Really
so I'm going to piggyback a little bit what you just said. You said that a man feel they should lead. What lead us into destruction? Which a lot of men don't realize that's exactly what they do. And then they want to know why some women are rebellious to them. You are rebellious because you're not heading us in the right direction. So when she put her best foot forward, you try to step on her toes because you're mad because you haven't dealt with your inner boy. So this is my message to all the men out there. You need to deal with your inner boy because you need to grow up, and it's called maturity. Nobody wants a man where they have to constantly say, and then they overbear them. So if you want us to respect you, then you need to respect yourself first. And for the men that call themselves Christians, I'm going to go there too. A lot of people feel like, oh, again, the head of the household. But guess who lead the man? Christ. So ask yourself, are you being Christ-like? And then Christ-like is just being a man of integrity. That's it. People make it seem like it's bigger. It's not. It is being a man of integrity. You say what you do and you do what you say. And then that's how the respect is earned. And again, the respect is earned, not given. A lot of men want us to pour into them, but are you pouring into the woman? And I remember I had a guest on, and it was actually Rio. And he said when he first started dating his wife, he said he didn't want anything from her, but he wanted to prove to her that he loved her, and he wanted to prove to her that he wanted the relationship. So what did he do? He just poured into her. Right. I appreciate those type of men, but I also understand too, most of these men, that's the men that they are today, the mature men, they went through some stuff and they saw the part that they played. So I'm saying to these men out here, what part are you playing? And please, if you have the audacity to feel like you want the next man to treat your sister, to treat your mother, to treat your aunt with respect, you give it up first.
Ditto.
I'm sorry, I had to take it there, man.
I can't piggyback off that. I'm going to be honest with you. I can't piggyback off that because, one, I think a lot of times men get this mentality because of who they hang with. Right. And sometimes men get this mentality of what they see in the past. Not excusing that, but that could be an explanation. And sometimes I feel like men could feel insecure about who they are because they feel like they have to overexert their dominance and just do whatever. I mean, let's be honest with ourselves. I know this isn't a black woman, let alone a black man. I don't even know he's a man personally, but we're going to determine that later on down the road. 45.
Oh,
I mean,
Lord. He's not a black man.
that's why I said he wasn't a black man. Or anyway, I mean, a lot of people have that mentality of I'm the guy and you're supposed to do what I say. And then on top of that, you're not doing anything to protect them. You know what I mean? So that mentality, that's what I was getting at. That mentality sometimes get overran by just nonsense.
Manny, you said something so vital. You said some men feel insecure. And
Yeah.
I say they feel insecure because they don't know who they are. They really don't know who they are. They have so much built-in emotion. And please, let me tell you something, black men, dear black men, from your black sister, we can never truly understand how you feel, but we want to say we're trying to understand. And that's where we have to meet each other. We have to come to a common ground. And it is not a woman responsibility to raise you and to make sure that you do the right thing. It is not. No one should put that pressure on the next person. Okay? So you have to do some self-digging yourself, and you have to identify what is wrong with me and why do I think I have that mentality? Oh, she's supposed to have me down, and and I can do what I want to do. So, perfect example, when a man goes to jail, he expects his woman to hold him down. And hold on, let me kick it up a step up. Years ago, like in my early 20s, I dated a man and he did go to jail. And when he went to jail, because during our relationship, and I was young, and I'm not afraid to share this story, he was in and out of jail. And I said to myself, I said, just because he's in and out of jail, it does not make him a bad person. However, I'm going to remove myself out the equation because that's not what I want. Because it seems as you cannot get yourself together. And I do not want to hear the excuse, oh, the man is trying to hold me down. I don't want to hear that because you can always do better. So years went past and he found me. And he was like, oh, I have to say this to you. I was hurt. When I didn't hear from you no more, and I was there all by myself. And I said, let me tell you something. It was not my responsibility to do that. And at that same time too, I was not his wife. But see, he had the mentality of, oh, he wants me to hold him down. What was you doing for me in return? You don't even realize the weight that you put on me because you're expecting certain things from me, but you didn't set me up in return. Did you say, hey, I want to make sure that, your house is good. I want to make sure your household is good. I want, hey, I got my man Tommy, doing this for you. Because in some circumstances, yes, people do go to jail for things that's out of their control. But I do respect this factor. If you have people on the outside, you're going to say, hey, look out for my wife. Look out for my family. A lot of men don't do that. You go in there and you talk to multiple women and you use them all. And you sell them that false dream. Oh, when I come out, it's going to be you and I. And then when you come out, it's the same crap. Nobody has time for that. It is 2021. So you need to grow up.
I agree.
I'm sorry, Nick. You about to say something?
You said something that was interesting. And I'm going to backtrack it here for just a moment. You said he said I was in there alone. What do you think she is out here doing as well?
Hello.
I mean, let's bring logic into this mix. You go away for we'll say a small number, 5 years. And you're away for 3.5. That's 3.5 away from a lot of things. I mean, we can all say 3.5 years is a lot of time.
Right.
I mean, regardless of, it's not that bad. Oh, it's that bad sometimes. I mean, look at the last administration. But still, it's just one of those moments where it's just got, you have to understand that, okay, you're alone in the cell. She's also alone in a world without you. So Guess what? You're both alone in this situation. Now, y'all can hold each other down. Cool. But guess what? You have to reciprocate that same love. You know what I mean?
Right. And just to piggyback off of you then I think the concept of ride or die is taken out of content. Why
Agreed.
do I have to die for you? Now, riding for you, of course, you want someone to ride for you. And to me, my definition of someone riding for you is when you are down, they are there to pick you up, or when you are down, they are there to step in and to handle business, and vice versa. This goes on with a lot of couples. People go through depression, and that's another thing too. A lot of men, they don't even realize they are suffering from all these different mental illness, but what do? They ignore it. Like,
Mm-hmm.
hear me go with my stories. And it's okay, because it was a lesson learned. It taught me a lot. There was a gentleman that I dated, and he was a great guy. Like, I really got to see his true him behind all the rah, 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 because that's the type of person he is. And I understand he had to put that persona up to protect himself. But at the end of the day, he was upset with himself. And I remember one time we had a conversation, and he was like, I'm upset. And I said, I know you're upset. I said, it's written all over your face. But he didn't know how to control his inner little boy, where he just comes out of sometimes and this, rah, and I'm like, see, let me tell you something, black man. I did the work on me. I'm not at that place no more where we're going to have these screaming matches. And because you irritate my system, and because you irritate me, you got to go. And then a lot of people feel like, oh, well, you think you're good enough. It has nothing to do thinking I am good enough. It has everything
Right.
to do that I'm at a certain level and you need to level up. That's what it means to level up. The maturity, let go of the baggage and work on you. And that's part of the reason why I think a lot of our black men feel like they don't have to protect us.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's all about them. They have this egotistic attitude about them, like, yeah, I'm this and I'm that. But you got to remember, when you're down, and sometimes this is needed, when you are down and nobody is around you. First of all, I personally think that God needs you at that place so he can get to you. It doesn't matter what religion you are. You don't even have to be a religion. But let me tell you something. There is a Father, and he oversees everything. And he needs you to get to that place, sometimes that rock bottom place, so you can humble yourself and realize the people that you have around you and probably had around you serve a purpose in your life, because we don't bump into one another just by no accident. There's a reason, but you have to know the lesson that's being taught.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And I think all men can somewhat attest to the fact that as they hit their rock bottom, as you would say, they learn a lot about themselves. They learn a lot about the mistakes they made, and they learn about all the choices that needs to be made moving forward. Because a lot of times we just get so bogged up in our own ego, as you would say, we can't see forward. We just see what's in front of us.
Right. And another misconception that I want to talk about, Manny, is that a lot of black men feel like they rather date outside their race because they feel like, oh, we have a bad attitude. Let me tell you something.
I got to say something about that.
Hold on, let me say this first.
Go ahead.
I am not justifying no woman nasty attitude and the way they do certain things so they can get the man attention. I'm not justifying that, but I do want to say to you, there are some reasons why she behaved that way, and she can be frustrated and aggravated herself, but this is when she has to separate herself from you to focus on her, because putting too much emphasis on you, she's hurting herself. And a lot of men don't understand that. This is the reason why we step away. This is the reason why we don't want to be in your face, because we realize it is affecting our mental health. People don't understand how big it is that your mental health plays a major part in all of your life. And if someone is toxic to you, you have to remove yourself. But a lot of people who's the intoxicator, they can't see that. They're blinded. So for you to put that stipulation, oh, I don't like black women because they ghetto, because they loud, don't do that.
Don't do that.
Now, if you have a preference, I understand. But to put all of us in the category that we have an attitude, no, we feel like we're not being heard. We feel like we are misrepresented. And we feel out of everybody probably on this earth that we're the less person to get the least people to get protected.
Right, and and you absolutely nailing on the head here. I'm going to be honest with you. I really cringe when black men say, "Well, I don't want to date a black woman because of their attitude." Let me tell you
Right.
something. Let me bring something home to you. First of all, you was raised by a black woman.
Hello.
Second of all, you was birthed by a black woman. Third of all, I'm pretty sure a black woman birthed your mother. So guess what? We all have our flaws, we have our insecurities, and we have our things we all need to work on. But look, come on. Don't come out and say, well, I'm gonna date, I'll go ahead and say it. I'm gonna date a white woman because I don't want to deal with, I mean, she will not get on my case. Let me let you in a little secret. Women get on your case in different ways, okay? Let me because I'm gonna be honest with you. I date a black woman, because I came from a black woman, because I'm gonna be real with you. Black women are the only group of women that knows what you go through on a regular basis.
Absolutely.
Sure, you may see all races march to a Black Lives Matter protest, but if you really want to boil down to the essence of it, a black woman will always know what we would go through, mentally, spiritually, physically, financially, and emotionally.
Absolutely.
So you just can't sit here and say, I'm gonna date a white woman. I mean, I had a young boy tell me that, and I had to pull him aside and say, why did you make that statement? And I had to gear him up to say, listen, if you want to date a white woman because you want to date a white woman, cool. Well, I'm not telling you who not to date. What I am telling you is don't use that excuse to date outside of a black woman, because let's be real. Everyone has their issues, and some may have worse issues than others, but still, you're gonna understand as you get older. You're gonna understand that all races are not created equal, but all races are not gonna have your back equally as well.
I can definitely concur with that. And Manny, I want to go back a little bit to something you said. You said you came from a black woman, and I love that song that Tupac made when he said that. He said, you came from a black woman, or you was birthed from a black woman, or from a black woman. So I got to freeze right there. Some of the issues that men have, they have with their mama. So because of the issue you have with your mama, you take it out on your woman. Whew, that goes back to the underlying, what I'm talking about. You got to recognize and address your issues. It is not your woman's fault that your mother did X, Y, Z to you. And at some given time, you have to forgive your mama. Now, it's up to you if you want to go ahead and heal the relationship with your mother. Yeah. So just two different things. And a lot of people are not ready for that because they keep running from it, which a lot of men run from it. Men, I'm sorry, I don't mean to bash you, and I'm not bashing you. I want you to take this as like I'm really pouring my heart out to you. But a lot of times the things that y'all do, that y'all avoid so much, is because you don't want to face it. When are you going to stop running? Yeah. When are you going to stop hiding? When are you going to address the issue? And then I have to also tell you this too. It is therapeutic to go speak to someone who is licensed in the mental health area. Because I know a lot, I'm not going to tell people my business. Well, you need to tell somebody something because you have it bottled up inside and you're an angry black man and it's not cute. You do not look attractive. Agreed. And then you wonder how you get these women and they don't stay. You're like, well, what's wrong with them? First of all, and this goes out to any person, but for the black in particular, if you keep running through black women and they don't want to be with you, then it's time to examine yourself.
It is time to examine yourself, and I agree with that 100% because let's put it in this perspective. If you date 5 women and all 5 women say the same thing about you, right? Guess what? They're not just saying this because they know, but they don't know each other. So if they're saying the same thing, guess what? They're seeing the same thing. Right. And you may need to address that. Hello. Now, how you address it, we can't tell you how to address it, but you need to address it. Period. I mean, I don't know.
I want to say something else. we've been talking about some of the men who have not protected the woman, but I want to give honor to two men that actually tried to protect a woman, he was doing the right thing, but it was so sad, that tragedy happened last year. A lot of people don't know this, but there was a gentleman named by the name of Jonathan Price, and he saw something at a gas station. He was trying to protect a woman and through a domestic violence dispute, and he got shot, and I believe it was by a cop.
Yeah.
He got shot by
Wolf City
cop.
Police in Texas.
Right. I'm not going to dig into the whole story. If you want to know more about the story, you can just Google Jonathan Price, but it tells you more online about his story. But the fact that he was trying to protect her from a domestic dispute, it wasn't even the men who attacked him, it was a cop. Now, we already know we're at a totally different level when it comes to the cops calling out black men.
That's another episode.
That's another episode, but it's still the point that I commend him for taking a leap to wanted to protect her because he saw that she was hurt and harmed.
Yep.
Another black man I want to give kudos to, and this is to Papoose, which is Remy, my husband. When she went to jail, and she didn't just go to jail, like you said earlier, for 2-3 years. She did a little bit more time, but it was the fact that he was still there for her. He was still down for her. And when she came out, it's like they went up. They went up. That right there. And I'm pretty sure there's a lot of men, or there's some men that's out there, but you don't see that. And to be honest, the news don't want that. The media don't want that publicized. And to be honest, let's pick it up a notch too. There are a lot of men who want to be fathers, and they want to be great husbands, and they are, but they don't project that in the media. So please also too, don't get sidetracked what the media tells you. But yes, there are men out there who do not protect the black woman. And you know what? I say this to all the ladies, even though it's sad, we have to focus on the ones that focus on us. And that's just it. We just have to keep it moving. But in the results of it, we still have to be kind to one another, because we can all need it, because we never know what each and every one of us is going through.
You're absolutely right on that one. I mean, rest in peace to Jonathan Price as well, because I remember hearing that story last year, and it's just like, he was trying to do the right thing, and unfortunately, he got punished for it.
Right.
So,
which is, it's really sad.
I don't want to get into that story because.
Yeah. So again, everyone, I hope you appreciate that message. So all the black men that's having this battle, this internal battle with yourself, I say you really need to take some time and examine yourself and just work on yourself little by little. So I hope you appreciate this message, and I hope you appreciate the standpoints, the perspective that I gave you, because this is how we feel as black women. But everybody, thank you for watching us today. Come back next week at 11 a.m. Continue to follow us at the Lady K Chat Podcast here on Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook. And our website, you can reach us www.ladykenterprisesinc.com. Subscribe and follow us on Instagram and YouTube. And Manny, did you have something you want to say?
Sure thing. Like if you look at us on IG, hit the heart. Make sure you follow us. All that good stuff. If you're listening up on YouTube, run those likes up. Like, comment, subscribe. Tell a friend. Tell that friend to tell a friend, and tell that friend to tell another friend. And you know the deal. And then if you're looking at us up on Facebook, run those likes up as well, and make sure you share this. All right.
Absolutely, yes.
Especially if there's any episode that you need to share, is this one.
Absolutely.
Seriously. We need to get the message out. We need to let everybody know that in 2021, I mean, come on, man. Start respecting yourselves. Start respecting black women. Period.
Right. Okay? And because you said that, Manny, 2021, let this be the year of purpose, meaning that you do everything that's in alignment with your purpose. And your purpose every year should become better every year. And you don't have to wait till a new year to do so, because you can say every day is my new year. So God bless you, everyone, and have a great night.
Lady K.